Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today, and another one on F1 2020. Of course, earlier today we had the full announcement for the release date and some key new features for the game, including the Create a Team career mode, the Schumacher edition of the game, and a load of other little features, including split screen as well, which is quite surprising. And all of that was wrapped up in a video I uploaded earlier on the channel, so if you did miss that, by the way, annotation in the top right of the video right now. Insane support. I think it's like over 4,000 likes already, and we're only like 4 hours after we uploaded the video. So yeah, crazy stuff there. Appreciate that, and I really love the hype that this is already generating over this, because it is a very hyped up set of news to kind of delve into. The features that we've seen so far, I say so far because there might be more to come, have been very, very exciting. But we've got some more details now, because there was some more actual info on the actual features of the Create a Team career mode on a different kind of splash page to the one Codemasters were initially linking here. So we've got here on the info screen, just below the kind of main tab, for the first time, players can create their own F1 team by creating a driver, then choosing a sponsor, an engine supplier, hiring a teammate, and then competing as the 11th team on the grid, build facilities, develop the team over the time, and drive to the top. So I put this in a tweet, but basically the Create a Team career mode is going to be like the ultimate road to glory experience. Like, I almost feel like it's going to be a big question mark for, it's a kind of a bit of a first world kind of YouTuber creator problem, but for us uploading series on YouTube, it's going to be quite interesting to see how we go about it, because I feel like a lot of people will want to see, obviously, the Create a Team career mode, but also you want to see an authentic normal career mode in a way as well, driving as your favorite actual F1 team alongside an actual F1 driver or something like that. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting. Let me know in the comments below early on. I know it's very early days, we've still got, like, you know, a good 2 months till the game comes out, but already, I don't know, let me know what you guys are thinking for that. Would you like to see two career modes go alongside each other on the channel, perhaps, when the game launches? One being the Create a Team, the My Team career mode, or the and then the second one being like in the normal career mode with the F2 season, because you can see here, customize your 10-year career mode with a choice of the F2 Championship introduction options and season lengths to allow more exciting multiple season career. So that alludes to the fact that I think F2, the whole F2 story mode, I don't think they're going to expand it too much. It says F2 Championship introduction options, so maybe there is an expanded option there, but it sounds like the F2 option is only there for the normal career mode, which makes sense, because if you were to make a team, it wouldn't really make sense for you to go through F2 progression, then to go into F1 as a team manager / driver and make the team like that. So that makes a lot of sense. So the F2 will be available in the normal career mode, it seems like, and then the kind of the Create a Team has its own unique, obviously, aspect to it, which let's delve into. So first and foremost, creating a driver. Hopefully, I'm hoping, because that is quite an important part now, because that is not only your driver, that's your manager of the team. Hopefully they've, you know, really embellished that entire part of the game and made, you know, the more faces available, more kind of, you know, hairstyles and whatnot, or just options, basically, like almost like you have on like FIFA when you create a player, or like a pro clubs player, you can create them with a lot more detail. That would be very, very cool, because if you're going to see that player for the entirety of your My Team career, you want it to be kind of very customizable, not just kind of one of, what is, I don't know, I think 30 choices they have right now on the current F1 game. So yeah, not too many. You've then got choosing a sponsor, an engine supplier, hiring a teammate, and the rest of it. So let's just pick that piece by piece. So choosing a sponsor, very, very cool. We talked about, you know, already that, you know, that kind of was alluded to, the fact that you could choose sponsors and whatnot, but it'd be very cool to actually see proper, like, you know, differences in R&D points, or, you know, money, basically, essentially, but obviously the in-game currency is R&D points. To have R&D points really matter a lot to what sponsors you're choosing. Like, I want to see a plethora of 3 choices, 5 choices of different sponsors, different style. You have some fake energy drink ones, some fake kind of, you know, material supplier ones, a lot like, you know, what you kind of have out of Motorsport Manager. There's going to be a lot of inspiration Cody's could take from Motorsport Manager, which in a way I feel bad a little bit from PlaySport, a little bit, because you've got that officially licensed manager game that is coming in 2021 or 2022 from the people that make the Planet Coaster game. If you don't know, that's coming in like a few years' time. That's fully licensed. That's coming. And then you've got also the F1 game, the actual proper driving F1 game, nicking some management style stuff from there. So I kind of feel bad in a way, but they can take a lot of inspiration from PlaySport. PlaySport have been basically the dominators of the game in terms of motorsport management, hands down. I mean, I've been playing that game for 4 years now, so they've just done it the best. So to be honest, copying is the kind of best form of flattery in a way, so they could do a lot with copying what PlaySport did with Motorsport Manager in terms of choosing sponsors at the start of the season, or when you're building your new car, basically, in terms of the suppliers you choose, the kind of sponsors you have on the side pod, the front wing, the rear wing, the chassis side, the barge wood end plates, all that. I really hope there's a lot of different sponsors to choose from in all different areas of the car, and they all have R&D attributes or performance attributes, because of course if you choose a material supplier for a brake, if you're sponsored by a certain brake company or lubricants company, that might improve your engine. So I would love to see that. I think that's maybe stretching a bit too far in terms of how in-depth it could be, but if I pick, you know, a good lubricant supplier for the engine, I want to hopefully see some improvements on the engine side. We have the engine supplier. You get to choose that, which is very cool, and I'm astounded they've actually got away with being allowed to do that in terms of choosing a Ferrari engine or a Honda engine or a Renault engine, but that's very, very cool, and I want to see the R&D chart change. And I hope it will do. I assume that's the logical thing to do, is allow it to change. And what I mean by that is if you choose the Honda engine versus the Renault or Ferrari or Merc, the actual tree of your R&D physically changes, just like you see from team to team with the official licensed Formula 1 teams. I want to see those change. I would also love to see, like I just mentioned with the sponsors, different sponsors maybe give you better budget, maybe better scope, maybe. Rather than maybe a certain amount of R&D points, a sponsor could give you a kind of high potential value. And the higher potential value extends your R&D tree by maybe one layer, or gives you a few more little miners at the start of the tree to upgrade rapidly faster, basically. It'd be cool to see full differences in that, because then every single person's career mode, say if you at home, myself, other YouTubers, other creators, streamers, all the R&D trees will be totally different, so all the series and all the experiences are entirely unique, which is obviously a great thing, because you don't really like to see all the same all the time, especially if you guys are watching, you know, videos like mine and you're watching and then you're playing at home. That'd be kind of annoying to see. Then you've got hiring a teammate. I'll get back to that in a second, because also, let's skip ahead now, because it's along the same lines, to build facilities and develop the team over the time, because that, again, they can take a lot from Motorsport Manager. Motorsport Manager had HQ upgrades. You guys know that from watching my Motorsport Manager series. Obviously, it's been a while since I kind of dropped off doing the latest one I had, because I've just got a lot of other series going on, but, you know, when we were doing that, there were HQ upgrades to make, you know, for the wind tunnel, the staff upgrades as well, even other upgrades that weren't really apparent to the team, but would make us money. So things like the helipad in Motorsport Manager made you more money, maybe, long term. I don't think maybe there's going to be a case like that, but it would be kind of cool maybe if you had to kind of, you know, spend some money here to make some money elsewhere later on in the R&D scheme of things. Every time I say money, I basically mean R&D points. Obviously, you guys get what I mean in that kind of sense, but it'd be cool to actually have like an overview of your facilities, you know, see buildings like it is in Motorsport Manager. I'm going to try and edit some Motorsport Manager on the left of me here, so you guys can see what I mean, or right of me, depending on how you want to look at it. My left, your right, to kind of see what it looks like, basically. But it'd be cool to have kind of animations like that to see the facilities, see the buildings, and you can kind of upgrade them, see the difference to other teams. Maybe that's a bit too much, like in terms of values, but bars, I would love to see that, because we have bars right now for the aero, for the engine, but the reason they can't ever put kind of actual tangible values is because the F1 teams would get a little bit annoyed at kind of putting actual values on that. But to have bars to see how your facilities match up to other teams, that would be very good. I don't know if that's going to be part of it, in terms of maybe you're the only ones that can have facilities that go up and down and the AI teams do not. We'll have to see. Obviously, these are the only details we have. And going back to now, hiring a teammate for your team. Now, I've thought about this, because obviously, if you create a team, it's you, and then you have a second driver, and that's a 20, what's that? You've got a 22nd driver, because you're the 21st on the grid, and then you've got a 22nd one, and who's that going to be? Like, is it going to be, are we going to have another, you know, Lucas, initially I thought, would it be Lucas Weber or Devin Butler? Like, you know, if F2 career mode, if F2, the story mode, was available in my team, could it be a case of you choose between Weber and Butler? Do you choose your bitter rival, but a fast driver, or do you choose Lucas Weber, the more loyal driver, maybe a little bit slower? I don't know. But now thinking about it, a more logical way to do it perhaps would be just choosing an F2 driver outright. If you can't have the F2 story mode in my team, if that's locked off to normal career mode, then at least have the opportunity to choose a licensed F2 driver in the game as your teammate. So I'm talking, you know, you can choose like a Jack Aitken off the top of my head, or, you know, just or Callum Ilott, or whatever. You could choose any of the F2 drivers in the game as your teammate, which would be pretty sick, because then with the driver transfers down the seasons for my team, you could then have one of the F2 drivers finally driving an F1 car. That's something we don't know yet. Obviously, remember, driver transfers, they said nothing to us until the game launched. Like, literally, we did not know about driver transfers until the day of the embargo, where we all got a press release. I say we as in, like media and YouTubers got a press release, and then it was stated driver transfers are there and how it worked on day one. So we don't know. Maybe on day one, they're just going to sneak in the fact that finally now F2 drivers could move up the ladder and F1 drivers could retire completely out of Formula 1 and vacate their seats. I really hope that would be a stepping stone because they've done a great job with my team. It looks like it's going to be a great game mode. For the normal career mode though, I would love them to still have some attention to that because it'd be a shame if they just left that alone and it was the same as last year. So hopefully a bit more on the F2 championship on the story mode, and it would be great to see the F2 drivers being able to move up into Formula 1. F1 drivers retire. If it's a case of a kind of, kind of like you have to spread them out, so you get the F2 driver transfers only in normal career mode, and then you only get the one F2 driver in my team because my team's all about, your actual team building up. It's not about the transfers more so. It's more about your team being built up. That would be kind of fine with me, I guess. It would be cool to kind of have everything bundled together, but it seems like there will be some sort of distinction with that. But it's very intriguing. Then, like I said, there's a lot of things that they can take from PlaySport, and I'm just already, maybe you guys are doing it at home as well, kind of picturing it in my mind. I'm trying to think of how it would look like. How would Cody's go about making these sort of things? How would it look like in the menus and whatnot? It always just excites me in terms of a new game when you don't know what it's actually going to look like, the UI. Like, you've been told what's in it, but what it actually is like in front of your eyes is a very different story and can be game-breaking. It can be make or break for how the feature plays out in terms of how they display it and whatnot. Also, a quick note, a few details here now on the addition of split-screen racing. A new steering assist is there for more accessible race experiences, meaning the game can be picked up with friends no matter what your skill level. So that's pretty cool. Again, like I mentioned in the previous video, it's always good for the F1 game to make it very casual and accessible is the word, because obviously F1 is not the biggest sport in the world. The game by far means not the biggest sports game in the world. So the more we can do to get casual fans in, even fans that, I'm thinking that don't even watch F1. They start watching the F1 game on YouTube maybe, or they pick up the F1 game at a friend's house once and they play it and they think, oh, hang on, there's a nice learning curve here. They can pick it up and they can start playing it. And the more fans of the F1 game, the more fans of F1 in general, and in general, that's a great thing for all of us in terms of just more people watching our great sport and playing what is a very fun game and one of the best racing games I feel out there in terms of a career mode experience. I mean, for sure now you have my team and normal career mode. Like, I've seen other racing YouTubers today on Twitter that aren't even in the F1 game saying, should I maybe look into this and pick this up this year? So that's really great to see from my perspective, to see all these other YouTubers get involved maybe with the F1 game and have it a bit more, just popular base. It'd be very cool to see a lot of more creators get on it, and also just players like you guys at home, obviously. So that is the kind of delve into the finer details and kind of also just really talking about what we would like, maybe what it could look like. Obviously, this entire time I've had kind of Motorsport Manager edits on the left of me here, so hopefully that gives you kind of insight. If those of you have not seen Motorsport Manager ever, I definitely recommend you play the game because it's a very cool game. It's very cheap right now on Steam as well, and it could get you prepared in a way for F1 2020 in terms of a manager-style career mode to kind of warm yourselves up, really. But I think it's a good insight into what it could look like and what it could be, and I think what Cody's almost have to aim for, because that, like I said, that is the pinnacle, in my opinion, of a managed game in the modern era right now, is PlaySports Motorsport Manager. So if it's anything like that, plus the driving aspect and the R&D and whatnot, and just good AI to race, and it's going to be really sick. So that's been this video, then delving into the finer details. And so if you guys did enjoy the video, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below about any of those things I discussed. Like I said, if you didn't see the first video, my initial raw reaction to all this news, then be sure to go check it out. Pretty much the entire video, just me smiling and kind of trying to contain my shouting, basically, how awesome this all was. But July 10th can't come soon enough. Any more news and gameplay now can't come soon enough. I'm very hyped. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly full-on content. Thank you very much, guys, for the support so far today. I mean, like I said earlier, this insane response on earlier's video. I'm sure it'll be the same again for this one, so I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.